What's good, people? This is SimFBallCritic, and this is NCAA 12. This is a real quick video, man, so I'm going to jump right into it. But before I get started, let me just say this. I'm not in the business for telling people which games to buy and which games not to buy, and, calling people stupid for buying a game or not buying a game. I see too many comments in the forums and such of, people going at each other saying they're not a sim fan if they like an EA game and this and that, and that's just crazy, because at the end of the day, it's a video game. It's a video game, which means, I've said it myself and I'll say it again, NCAA 12, in my opinion, is a playable game. It is a fun game, and I can get enjoyment out of the game. But at the same time, and that's a very big but it is not a true simulation. It is not up to par, up to the standards where I would like to see a game in this day and age that's considered a simulation. And I'm going to explain to you briefly the things that I think keeps the game from being a simulation in my eyes. And again, like I said, this is what I think, because there's several of us here in the community, here at TSS, that have various different reasons why the game is not a sim, and we've all come together collectively and we've agreed. But I don't have a lot of time to spend in this video to address everything, but these are some of the big concerns for me. First and foremost, the running animations. The running animations have not been the same and have not been truly realistic since the previous gen. Whatever happened to that? We've all seen Madden 04, and we saw how good the running looked then and how fluid it was. What happened? Also, the lack of transitional animations, which means, when you're running upfield, you make a quick move to the right, to the left. There's no foot planting. There used to be a time where you could tell there was a change of direction. There needs to be proper foot planting showing a change of direction. Also, there's no individuality in this game anymore. Meaning, if I'm playing Madden, I want to see the running style from Peyton Hillis, and I want to see a LaDainian Tomlinson. I want to see an Adrian Peterson, a Chris Johnson, an Arian Foster. I want to see these different styles. I want to see receivers running like T.O., or run like Ocho Cinco, or, Randy Moss, Wes Welker. I want to see all of these different styles. Those things are not present in the current game. I can't really speak for Madden 12. I haven't seen it yet. But as far as what we have up to this point, to NCAA 12, these things are not present. Also, there needs to be more realistic battles in the trenches. In this game, it looks like the offensive linemen at some point just give up. And that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in real football. I know they get beat and it looks like they gave up, but they don't just let go like these linemen do. Now, it does seem like in Madden 12, it looks like there's more of a struggle, so I'll be curious to see how that goes. Also, my last big thing, my last pet peeve is the reaction time of the defenders. Speaking of the linebackers and the DBs, there needs to be some type of real-time player reaction. Meaning, let it play out realistically. If they're not in position, they don't make the swat. Like that play right there. That wasn't that bad, but that's really the only example I could give you. You guys know what I'm talking about with the super, linebackers and the psychic DBs. That needs to be eliminated. Let it just play out realistically. And you've gotten very close by removing the suction. But unfortunately, there are still times in the pass defense where these guys just seem like they're all over the field. Alright, so that's my quick analogy, my quick points there. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Let me know what you think.